Now let us discuss cardiac tumors. Cardiac tumors as such are very rare, but it is important for us because these are asked frequently in our exams. So the most common cardiac tumor, the questions which are asked on cardiac tumors are, in fact, which are the most common ones. The most common cardiac tumors are metastasis, right? If somebody asks which is the most common cardiac tumor, you answer it as metastasis. Then, amongst the metastasis, the questions are the most common site. The most common site of metastasis. The most common site of metastasis is pericardium, and these patients frequently present with pericardial effusions. Then, which are the most common tumors which metastasize? Most common tumors which metastasize to the heart are breast and lung cancer because of the large number of these tumors. However, the most propensity for cardiac metastasis is of melanoma, that is malignant melanoma. So most common cardiac tumors are metastasis, most common site of metastasis is pericardium, and the most common tumors that metastasize to the heart are breast and lung because of the large number of patients with these tumors, and the most highest propensity for metastasis is actually that of melanoma, right? Then we have what are the most common. I'll just write what are the most common primary cardiac tumors. Most common primary cardiac tumors. The most common primary cardiac tumor is myxoma. If you look at the overall population, the most common primary cardiac tumor is myxoma. The most common primary cardiac tumor in most common primary cardiac tumor in children, then I would say it is rhabdomyoma. Rhabdomyomas are usually hematomas associated with tuberous sclerosis, and they are frequently found in children. And then we have the most common primary cardiac tumor, that affects the valves. If this question has also been asked in the exams, that which is the most common primary cardiac tumor of the valves, then I would say it is fibroelastoma. That is, I'll write it completely, papillary fibroelastoma. Papillary fibroelastoma is the most common cardiac tumor affecting the valves and most commonly involves the mitral valve. Next, let us discuss these myxomas. Before I discuss the myxomas, one more question that is asked is most common malignant cardiac tumor. The most common malignant cardiac tumors are sarcomas. So these questions, although less relevant from a clinical point because each patient needs to be assessed individually, they are important from the point of view of exams. Next, we have the discussion on cardiac myxomas. Now, these myxomas are stromal tumors that most commonly originate from left atrium. This also is a question that the most common site of origin of cardiac myxoma is left atrium. This has a female preponderance, commonly found in females, right? In the age group of 30 to 60 years. Another exam question is that these myxomas are a part of which problem? Then I would say that these myxomas are a part of Carney's complex. In Carney's complex, you get cardiac, cutaneous myxomas. We get lentiginous and blue nevi. And we also get endocrine overactivity by like endocrine tumors, pituitary tumors, and testicular tumors. So Carney's complex includes cutaneous and cardiac myxomas, lentiginei, blue nevi, and adrenal, pituitary, and testicular tumors. Another question which has been asked is, what is Lamb syndrome? So Lamb syndrome is again lentiginous. AM stands for atrial myxoma and B stands for blue nevi. This is also asked in the exams. Another question which has been asked in exams is, what is Name syndrome? So Name syndrome is nevi, atrial myxoma, myxoid neurofibroma, and ephelides. So these myxomas can have a lot of other associated findings, particularly endocrine overactivity, tumors, and skin manifestations. We have previously seen that these myxomas present especially in females in the age group of 30 to 60 years, and the symptoms of these tumors are similar to that of mitral stenosis because these tumors occur in the left atrium and they sometimes cause mitral valve obstruction. So these patients can come with dyspnea, they can sometimes come with angina, they can come with features of failure like PND, orthopnea. Also, a lot of these patients have fever, Raynaud's phenomena, right? They can have raised TLC, anemia, elevated ESR, elevated CRP. They can have embolic manifestations, and on examination you find two particularly important findings. One is the mid diastolic murmur at the apex, and sometimes you get what is known as a tumor plop. This is also diastolic sound. So mid diastolic murmur and tumor plop, these are findings in atrial myxoma. Other findings could include findings in the respiratory system like trails, crepitations, wheezes. And as previously described, the pathophysiology in these tumors is similar to that of mitral stenosis. The treatment of myxomas is surgical excision. Sometimes these tumors may be detected in asymptomatic people on routine echocardiographic examination. And for all patients who have myxoma, all of these patients should be treated with surgical excision. So, patients with cardiac myxoma can come with dyspnea, angina, PND, orthopnea. They can have fever and Raynaud's phenomena. They can also have clubbing and raised TLC, anemia, raised inflammatory markers, sometimes embolic manifestations. They can have a mid diastolic murmur and tumor plop. One peculiar finding in these patients is that symptoms and signs can have positional variation. Also, these patients can sometimes present with various arrhythmias because of the involvement of the AV node. They can present with heart blocks, first degree, second degree, or complete heart block. So, atrial myxomas are important because a lot of questions are asked on atrial myxomas, especially on the syndromes associated with atrial myxomas. And the treatment of all of these atrial myxomas is essentially going to be surgical. In fact, we have reported a case of the left atrial myxoma with complete heart block, and the patient also had triple vessel coronary artery disease. This is a very rare presentation and this is a very rare case report. Such a case has never been described before. The findings which we saw in this case were, although we did not get histological confirmation, we found that this patient had a thickened interatrial septum and this tumor that originated from the left atrium was prolapsing across the mitral valve. As you can see over here, this is the mitral valve. This tumor was originating from the left atrium, prolapsing across the mitral valve, creating significant mitral valve inflow obstruction. And also, if you see the ECG, you can see that there is dissociation of the P waves with the QRS complexes. This is total dissociation of P and QRS. This is complete heart block. When we did a coronary angiogram pre-surgery, we also found that there was disease of the left anterior descending artery, the right coronary artery, and also the left circumflex artery. So, myxomas can present with a variety of manifestations, including systemic symptoms, cardiac symptoms, and arrhythmias.